The Cavaliers completed what was tied for the second largest comeback of the season, down by as many as 18 to defeat the Brooklyn Nets tonight, 109-104. Let's hear more from the winning head coach, Kenny Atkinson. His press conference is presented by Wayside.
Kenny, Darius struggled for the first three quarters and then scored 18 of his 30 in the fourth quarter. What did you see that was different from him closing the game out tonight?
Clutch player of the year. I mean, he just does it in the fourth quarter. He's done it all year. I'll give us some credit for starting him in that fourth. Normally, that's not his rotation, right? He sits the first 4 minutes, and we just felt like we had to, we needed him. Then I told him, I'm going to take you out to get you 2 minutes rest, and we couldn't take him out because he was playing so well. So 18-point fourth quarter. And I liked he kept pushing the pace, right? He didn't slow it down. He wasn't looking for mismatches, just going, using his speed and skill.
What did you like about what you guys were able to do defensively in the second half tonight?
Man, I think we came out with a different mindset. Felt like the first half you say, well, they shot it really well. I'd argue they had a lot of freedom of movement. And then I think the second half we got into them a little bit. Led by J.A. and Ice, Ice's job on Cam Tom. I know he had 27, but he made him work. And I thought J.A. was player of the game. I know Darius, offensively, but J.A. was the one that really sparked our defense in the second half.
Cash.
Kenny, to another Jarrett question. I mean, he had 4 offensive rebounds in the third quarter and 5 in the second half total. Just how did that help propel that?
It was huge. I mean, we shot 10 of 42 from 3. It's hard to win in this league when you shoot that poorly. And those extra possessions, it seems like when J.A. has the huge games, he does it on the old boards. And seemed like he was cleaning up all our many misses tonight.
Like, how impressive is it the way he can kind of use his verticality in that way to chase those down?
Incredible. I mean, he's got length and instinct, and then he's got the grit to go get it. But he was, like I said, I thought he was MVP of the game for us.
Space.
Just wanted to ask about CP's minutes there. Without Darius, with Darius, I know you guys were playing a little bit smaller because you had to tonight, but looked like he really gave you a nice injection of energy. And then obviously the end of the third quarter, he hits the big shot.
We probably don't win without that shot. And the crowd got, he hits it. I think the crowd gets into it. I mean, CP has been really stellar in our extra work group. I don't say that lightly because we watch it. We keep an eye on it. I watch all the games, and he's been great. So it didn't surprise me that he played well. I loved he picked up full court, got that steal, great energy. We're going to stick with, like I said, it was just getting DG. We just felt like we had to get DG in there, had to get him going to get this game.
The way you've used to describe this team before is just that they're a find-a-way team. Without Ty, who usually gives you that spark, DeAndre, and then obviously Donovan. For them to do that without those 3 key players in that situation and be able to come back again in the fourth quarter, just what does that say about just kind of the mentality?
Because this one did not look good, right? It seemed like one of those games. Oh man, this is just one, especially because we're just missing shot after shot, and sometimes it goes like that. But it's find a way, and like I said, deep into the roster, right? It wasn't what they're, Don and missing 3 rotation players, Ty and Dre, Ice stepping up, Sam obviously stepping up, just our depth and our grit and our resiliency is really, it's something to behold.
Coach, we saw a lot from Evan Mobley in that first half, but as he kind of got swallowed up a little bit in the second half, you saw him passing the ball off a lot more. To see him have 6 assists and how he's been able to get off the ball and use his body, to have him grow into an offensive hub, how important is that for you guys?
It's really important. And they started clamping down on him right after the first half. They started really kind of closing lane but I say it all the time. He's an excellent decision maker. He reads the game well. smart, draws a crowd, knows when to kick it out. I wish we would have generated some more shots for him in the second half, but 9 for 13, pretty efficient night, 6 assists.
On a night that you feel like you're not hitting a lot of your shots and the ball doesn't feel like it's getting sticky, even though you are not hitting your shots. Never got ISO ball. 23 of 39 makes you guys assisted on. When you guys are moving the ball around still in that capacity, what does it say about you guys and the selflessness of this team?
Yeah, and I felt like, man, we were getting good looks. Like it wasn't like they were forced or ISO pull-ups and that stuff. So I agree with you there. But our guys, 1 through 15, they kind of know how we play. They're bought in. Even DG in the first half, because sometimes DG can say, man, I'm going to do this all my side. He kind of kept with the game plan. He didn't overdo it. Didn't get selfish at any point, kept sharing it, kept throwing it to our perimeter guys. And sometimes that's hard, right? You're an all-star and guys are missing, but he kept making that extra pass. I thought that was huge.
Basket odds, and it was Darius Garland for 3 to get the scoring going here in tonight's game. No surprise, Darius Garland leading all scorers tonight with 30 points with an assist from Evan Mobley. What a 6 assists from Mobley here tonight. Darius Garland knocking down 3 triples here this evening. 30 points, 18 coming in that fourth quarter as we revisit our same game parlay. And also, what it simply comes down to is we can no longer ever pick Cavaliers winning the first quarter.
Yeah, I agree with you. We have to.
I thought we made that decision too.
Right. I think we put the jinx on him when we do that.
You know what? I actually told our producer earlier today that we shouldn't do the first quarter, and he didn't listen to me. He overrode. Yes.
You warned him, and he didn't.
Yes, I warned him.
Wait till I talk to him.
I know. Well, he's actually booing in my ear, but it is true. All right, more to come here on Cavaliers Live. The Cavs completing the season sweep of the Brooklyn Nets with a 109-104 victory. Jarrett Allen, he was dominant tonight. We'll hear from J.A. next. 4 Cavaliers scored in double figures. Jarrett Allen finished with his 36th double-double of the season, 23 points, grabbed 13 rebounds. Let's head inside the locker room and hear more from Jarrett.
Jerry, you guys trailed by 18 in the second half of this game.
Right.
Your 5th comeback this year of at least 15. Give me a sense of how this one took place.
We just let them get ahead of us earlier. We've been doing this all season. We really need to stop doing it, where we come out a little lethargic in the first and second and decide to pick it up in the third.
The consistency, though, has been in fourth quarters, and the confidence that you guys have when the game is on the line. What gives you guys that?
That's just how we are. We have confidence in each other, and I think that propels us forward individually. Like, if DG believes that he can go and score on anybody, and we all believe it as well, I think that just makes it even better.
He certainly did that in the fourth quarter. I mean, he had 18 points in the fourth. For you guys, watching him kind of get into that mode, he's been great in clutch moments all year, but it's been an emphasis for him. What do you notice?
He just locks in. It's a different mentality. He wants to take over the game. He wants to just prove that he's the best player on the court, and he continually does.
Kenny was saying before the game that his first time around in Brooklyn as a head coach, he didn't really know what he was doing. He feels like he's coming into his own this time around. How does he seem like a more, mature coach to you this year?
I guess he's just confident in every single set that he runs or in any single defense that he puts in. Like in Brooklyn, we would run the same thing no matter what, He had a set plan, and no matter what, he was going to stick to it. But now you can see him kind of experimenting with things, kind of just trying to test the mold.
We've had other coaches come in this year and talk about how surprised they were when he was let go from Brooklyn. How cool is it for you, as someone who's known him your entire career, to have this renaissance alongside?
Super happy for him. Obviously he's a great coach, but a better person at that. Family-wise, know his family well. I'm happy for all of them. They're adjusting well to Cleveland. But couldn't be more happy. This is what he's all about, taking a great team and making them even better. And he's taking us to another level, and hopefully he makes that final push.
Jarrett, you had that stretch in the third quarter where you grabbed 4 offensive boards. Can you describe what it's like to be in that particular zone where you're just hunting down offensive rebounds like that?
Yeah, you just see the board and you just go get it. I know it doesn't sound complex, but in this game, a lot of things just boiling down to just the want for the ball, and we just needed it at that point. I just wanted to turn it on.
And Kenny talked about your defense as well, like during that second half.
Right.
Like, how does getting offensive rebounds and getting in the game that way, like, help your defense on the other side of the floor?
There's a saying, when you score the ball and you touch the ball, you don't get tired on defense. And that's exactly what was happening.
When you're a right-handed player with a right-handed injury,
Right.
and you've got 2.5, 3 major scores out,
Uh-huh.
did you feel like you had to score tonight? And then what's that like to have to score the ball when you're dominant shooting handers?
I didn't feel like I had to score the ball. And we have plenty of scorers that can outscore me any single night, so I trust them to go out and do that. But it's kind of tough having the right hand hurt. You know, it's tough to power dribble and stuff like that. I am confident in my left that it has a close enough ability to match the right, but it's still a detriment.
For you guys clinching the division tonight, another 15-game win streak.
Mm-hmm.
You still have the biggest goal ahead of you. But what does it mean the way you guys, it didn't come easy tonight, the way you were able to get it done?
It's still celebrate. We clinched, or what did we do? What was it? the division. Yeah, we clinched the division. That's still a big thing. That's still something to celebrate. And celebrate the small victories. We did something fantastic and have fun tonight and then get back to work in a couple of days.
Well, there's just something about Jarrett Allen facing off against his former team in the Brooklyn Nets. He had 16 and 20 back on February 20th in Brooklyn right after the All-Star break. And tonight, Kenny described him as the difference maker. He said he was probably the most important player on the court here tonight, finishing with 23 points and 13 rebounds. Austin, he caught fire in that second half. What a spark he was. How would you describe his impact on both ends of the floor?
Well, really, when you look at it, the Cavs were not hitting shots, their normal shots. So they had to get the energy level from somewhere, and Jarrett was the one that provided it. He did good defensive. He was solid on the defensive end. Offensively, he was scoring. He made some great efforts on second chance opportunities, great efforts. And his position, his playing along with Mobley inside allowed Garland to have the game he had.
3 Cavaliers scored at least 20 points here tonight. We talked about DG. We talked about JA, but we haven't talked about Evan Mobley. He finished with 21 points, pulled down 9 rebounds, dished out 6 assists as well. Again, a complete all-around performance. Something we've come to expect, AC. He's a scorer, he's a rebounder, and he's a distributor now.
Yes, he's right. You take a look at it. A lot of teams try to stop him. And what they try and do is be physical with him. So they double team him and all that, and he's starting to find the open man a lot. Pretty soon, teams will have to change their defensive strategy on him and not and try and just get one guy to stay in front of him, because when you double team, he'll find the open man.
There are so many things to point to when it comes to the Cavaliers' success this season, but the evolution of Evan Mobley is certainly at the forefront, and on a nightly basis, we are witnessing that time and time again. More to come here on Cavaliers Live. Evan Mobley, 21 and 9, as the Cavaliers take down the Nets by 5. With the win tonight, the Cavaliers have gone a perfect 4-0 against Brooklyn. Now their 11th sweep of the season. If I did hear John correctly in the broadcast, he said the Cavaliers can have as many as 22 sweeps this season. Austin, regardless, 11 in itself is quite impressive.
Kelly, I can't even imagine 22 sweeps, having the opportunity to do that. This team has been on a roll, and I want it to continue, because what I like about it is they understand where they're going.
The Cavaliers down by as many as 18 tonight, complete the comeback and take down the Brooklyn Nets for the season sweep with a 109-104 victory. And tonight they notch their 55th victory of the season, and they keep climbing the most wins in franchise history for a single season. And unbelievably, Austin, there are still 17 games remaining in the regular season.
It's amazing. This has been a fantastic season. This has been a season to remember.
They are just the 7th team in NBA history to start a season 55-10.
Wow.
Pretty remarkable.
It's very remarkable, because you're talking about NBA history.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Well, the Cavaliers will look to keep it rolling. They go on the road for 1. They come back for 1, and then, it's the West Coast trip. As we take a look at the calendar coming up now, the Cavaliers head heading to Memphis first, Austin, as we're waiting for that calendar to come up. They are coming home for one game against Orlando, and then the West Coast trip begins. That one is daunting. A lot of late games for us on the East Coast. They'll start in LA with the Clippers, a back-to-back with the Kings, on to Phoenix, Utah, and Portland. But first, it's a matchup with the Grizzlies. And we just heard from Tristan Thompson. He remembers just a few games ago when the Grizzlies were in town. It was physical. It was gritty. What do you expect down in Memphis come Friday night?
It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out battle because that's the way they play. They like to play that way. So they know, they figure they were only 2 possessions away from beating us. They will be ready to play. The Cavs have to be ready to stand up to their pressure.
The Cavaliers will look to make it 16 straight on Friday night as they head to Memphis for a matchup with the Grizzlies, now winners of 55 games this season with a 5-point victory over the Nets. For Austin Carr and our entire crew, I'm Kaylee Griffin. We'll see you Friday.